you by saying congratulations on your debut single. I've had a chance to have a listen to it, and I absolutely love it. And our listeners are about to hear Far Apart for the first time on the show, so congratulations.
Unreal, thank you. I'm so happy. It's finally I've got to the stage where I can finally put some music out. It's been a long time coming, a seriously long time coming, like almost 2 years, and now I'm at the stage where I've got a few singles that I'm ready to release sort of back to back, and I'm ready to go.
So, mate, tell us a little bit about yourself as a musician. When did your love for music first start, and when did you first start writing music?
My love for music started when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Like, I could always sort of sing, but I just needed, well, my mum always said I could sing, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But, and then sort of as I got a bit older, I sort of thought to myself, I haven't really got anything without accompanying an instrument. So I picked up a guitar and taught myself how to play on YouTube, and then here we are. Started writing songs probably about 2 years ago, just before during the COVID lockdown. I just started writing music, and I just fell in love with that aspect of music, and then just kept going. And now we're at the stage where I've been recording and ready to release. Got a fair few songs ready to go, so I'm stoked with the progress, and yeah.
Yeah. So what inspires you to write? Is it the world around you, what you're feeling at that time? What is it that inspires you?
It's literally, it can be anything. Like some days it's like my girlfriend. Some days I'm writing about my girlfriend. Some days I'm writing about just the stuff that happens in life. Like literally anything. I like to pick up a pen and paper and a guitar and write about anything that's happening in my life at that time.
So tell us a little bit about Far Apart. What was it that inspired that track, and what is it all about?
So Far Apart it's a funny one. That's sort of where I released it first. It's like the first song that I wrote that I was like, wow, like this is the first song that I've written that I actually think is worth putting out and showing people. I wrote it was during lockdown. I think it was the second lockdown we had in Sydney, because I'm from Sydney. And I wrote it. Basically, it's just about being in the same, or almost the same suburb I was with the person that I wanted to spend the most time with, who's now my girlfriend. And we were in the same suburb, but we still couldn't really see each other because, we were in and we couldn't see each other. And then, you're literally looking at the same sunset, but you can't see each other because it was against the law to leave your house at that time. So that's sort of where Far Apart came from, and yeah.
So was it a particularly easy song to write? It sounds like you wrote from the heart, so did that make it easier to write?
Oh, to be honest with you, I wrote Far Apart in like maybe 3 hours, I'd say. Some songs I find that it takes me a lot longer to write because I've got to perfect. I'm really mad crazy on lyrics, so I want to perfect the lyrics. But Far Apart sort of just came to me as it was done in about 3 hours, which I guess there was a lot of emotion in writing Far Apart because at that time I couldn't see anyone and I was locked up, and everyone sort of felt the same thing in that time. But I guess it sort of just all came to me in that, because of the emotion.
Definitely. Now, I understand your grandfather has had a big influence on your career as well. He's worked with people like the Beatles, Ed Sheeran. Tell us a little bit about your grandfather and the effect that he's had on your music career as well.
So my grandfather lived in England for a lot of. He was born and raised in England, so he was there for most of his life. He actually ended up going to Spain and retiring out there, but he lived most of his life in England, and he was fortunate enough to, he grew up in a family of about, he had 11 siblings, so heaps of brothers and sisters, and he pretty much just worked from the ground up and built and became a very successful film producer, and ended up working with the Beatles for about 10 years of their career and 10 years of his career as well, which is insane. I never sort of like, I never sort of thought, I was always told as a kid how, like, the Beatles, they were this massive band that, like, but I never sort of, it never became reality how close he was with them until I was about 2 years ago. I was just like, wow, that's like, if I can become half as successful as my grandfather, I've done pretty well, because, yeah, he's such a huge thing in history now, and will be forever.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned that you've got other singles ready to go as well. Where to now for you as an artist? Are you going to get out there and do shows over summer? Are you looking at doing an EP? What's the next steps for you over this summer?
The next step for me, I'm going to be releasing, I haven't actually told anyone this besides the people who are close family and friends, but I'm going to be releasing another single sort of late November.
Yep.
I think the plan is, and that one's ready to go. And I'm actually going out to New Zealand for a little bit, just to record stuff and write a lot of new material. And basically, I'm just going to keep writing until the new year, and then see what sort of traction I can get from the new single, and sort of go from there.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait to see what you do next as a musician. I know that our listeners are going to love this track, so we're going to play Far Apart on our show right now for the first time. What would you like to say to everybody out there before they take a listen to this amazing track?
I'd like to say, firstly, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to my song. I really hope you guys like it, and if you do, get in contact with me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, everything. It's just Conn Music, and yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think personally. I can't thank everyone enough for the support I've got thus far, and I'm just going to keep going.